Okay. Hi. Since I'm audible, let's start with the session. We'll not keep people waiting. Okay. So I see Krish in the meeting. Uh, Krish, can you turn on your mic or video? Like, can you just acknowledge if I'm audible to you?
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, perfect. Yes. Um. So I would like to keep the session very interactive, very much just like an interaction, just like a chat over the topics that we think both of us are interested in, right? So today's class or today's session that we say masterclass is about Python, okay? The power of Python that we have. Why do we say Python has so much power, okay? So before I start this, I'll introduce myself, okay? I'm Shruti Shah and I've been teaching Python and courses related to that for Techmentry over 3 years now. Okay, my qualifications would be I've done my BTech in AI ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and currently I'm working at a particular bank in India. Okay, so Krish, just since you the participant here, do you want to give a brief intro and like what interests you about Python or anything in technology at?
Ma'am, basically, my name is Krish Malhotra.
Yeah.
I've done my BMS. I'm in second year BMS at HR College.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So basically, I had attended a course, a Python course, but I didn't understand much of it. It
Okay.
was a college course.
All right.
So,
Like
yeah.
in the part of your curriculum, I see.
No, not in the part of curriculum. I had taken a separate course, which the college had sent it on the unofficial group,
Hmm.
but I didn't understand much of it.
Okay. But like, why just Python? Like, did you pick it or yourself, or just like because you had that opportunity?
Yes, ma'am, I picked it myself.
Okay. So yeah, today we would be diving deep into Python, and
Okay.
that we see that nowadays AI is booming, right? But
Yes.
why we must stick to Python? Or why we must opt for Python when the industry is so much moving towards the artificial intelligence? Okay, how Python forms the fundamentals of that. Okay, what people know till now is that Python is a very easy to read. Okay, it's a very human friendly language. Okay, out of all the languages that we have, there is a bubble that the programming language are very difficult to understand. There are many rules to it. Okay, Python is not one of those languages that we have. Okay, it's very simple text. Okay, even if someone who is not knowing any of the programming language would would at least be able to decode a part of Python that is written. Okay, and when we say about Python, like for example, if I want to run an AI model, okay, if I want to create an image, okay, or if I want to make a computer understand an image, okay, people would imagine that I would need hundreds or 10,000s of lines of codes to make that happen, right? But actually, it's not that complicated with Python. In Python, maybe a few lines of code, like few as in like 5, 10 lines of codes maximum, and I can do that. Okay. We're gonna do that in a session today as well. Okay. Uh, Speaking of Python, before we start, let's have some background about it so that we know what we are uh, putting ourselves into. Okay. I would share my board so that there is
Yes,
some.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I had one question.
Yeah, sure.
Like now, like people say that we are moving towards AI. So
Correct.
all the coders, the coding industry will die because the AI will do most of the work. So ma'am,
Uh,
what is the counterpart for it?
Yes. Can you just speak a little bit louder? I was not able to like
Am I
hear the
audible now?
rest of the question. Yes, you are.
Hello. So like basically, ma'am, people say that AI is going to take over all the coders, the coding industry, because it will do
Yes.
most of the work. So like, what is the counterpart for it? Like, why will someone learn Python?
Okay. So, for AI, if I say, we have a lot of applications that run on AI or claim to be the epitome of artificial intelligence, like which help us with our task. Okay. Some very famous one like the Chat GPT, Tesla, Netflix, Instagram, they've all adapted a part of AI in them, correct? Do you think how do they make their AI work? The language that is beneath them, the fundamentals, it's Python. Okay. Python is the most adaptable.
Talking about the prompt?
Not just prompt, okay? That is using the AI. What is building the AI? Okay. For example, you have an AI model trained, okay? You've trained your model which can maybe identify humans, correct? That is the simple model. It understands, okay, the input is my image, okay? I must identify humans. How do you put logic to that particular model and use it in an application? That fundamentals can be built through AI, correct?
Yes.
And that building block of that is Python. Okay. So even if AI models are trained, okay, to use them, incorporate them in your applications, okay, to add your logic to it, you would need Python on the base. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And speaking of why Python is the base of all these AI models is because Python is like fundamentally different from other languages in terms of it is an open source language. Okay. And I consider that as its huge power. Okay. The biggest of all. Okay. You understand what is open source?
No.
Okay. Okay. So some applications are owned by some company, okay, and they charge you to use them, or they are private, or they have enclosed their development to a particular company or to the dedicated developers of their company, right? Open source is free for the public, okay. Hence, the development in Python are done by developers across the globe. Okay, they are not restricted to a particular company. Okay, they are not restricted to the developers in a particular company. Okay, and they are not privated or they are not restricted by any needs. Okay, they are open to the public. You have the source code, you have the ability to make change in Python. Okay, how do you make change in the Python? Python is supported by a vast network of its libraries. Okay, there is something called as base Python, which is your normal print statements, your loops, your variables that help you build the code, right? But if you want to power up, okay, like what are the power ups of Python? It has the library network it has, okay. Using these, what you can basically do is add as much power as you want to your program file, okay, by importing these libraries, okay. So for example, if I am someone who is expert in video editing, I made a library very specific for video editing, okay. Now if you want to use that, you can just simply copy or borrow my code, because my code is open for the public, okay. It is not restricted to me. I have not made it private. I'm publishing it to the people, okay. Likewise, till now, so many experts have given their contribution to Python, okay. So there are modules for gaming, okay. There is a separate Python module which is called as Pygame, okay. So in those modules, you will find there is timers, there is screens, there is replay. All those are built-in modules, okay. So you can use them very easily while making your code, while making your games, okay. Similarly, there is a module called a CV2. Okay. Now, what is CV2? It deals with all your images, your cameras. Okay. So, using CV2, you can very easily enable your code to handle your camera. Okay. So, for example, your camera, your laptop has a webcam. Okay. Or a camera. If you turn it on, how would you instruct your code to access that particular feed of the camera? Okay. Using a module which is called as CV2, you will be directly able to capture images from the camera. Okay. So these modules enable us to ride over the machine learning models that we have. Okay. So for example, I trained a model, but I'll still need my camera access to actually use that model in my day-to-day life, right? If I do not configure my input, my outputs, okay, my logic of the code, then an AI model is still useless. Correct? It is like you have the most powerful weapon, but you don't know how to use it. Okay. So Python is that skill that will help you to use AI to its fullest. Okay. Otherwise, you will be using it as like a generic public who does not know how to use a programming language. Okay. So for example, any person who is like alien to the concept of programming language, alien to the concept of technology, he or she still can use ChatGPT, still can put a prompt and use it to some extent, correct? They're not debarred from that. But a person, like, what is the difference? What is the advantage a person has who has some knowledge about AI, who has some knowledge about the programming of how should I prompt the AI so that I get the best results, or how should I maximize the usage of AI. Okay, that gives you the leverage in this world. Okay, now since AI has come, the basic developers like writing your website codes, all that could be automated by AI. Okay, you can just write a prompt and it will give you a fully functioning website. Agreed, 100%. But what if you want to build something niche? What if you want to build something that has your own logic? Okay, for that, you can explain your logic to AI, but what if you want to add AI to your own application? Okay, there are applications that use AI as a part of it, okay, and hence they have the power of it. For example, ChatGPT uses AI model. I'm not denying that, correct? You can give your chat, it will work and give you the output. But what do you think the functioning of the chat, like for example, the way you type it, how smoothly it runs, that is governed by Python. Okay. So even if you have the most powerful AI model, if you do not write the logic correct, okay, the way you write your inputs, the way you give your output, the smooth functionality, handling the exceptional scenarios, all that are the basics of a coding or a programming language, correct? If you write that correctly, that gives you the most powerful weapon, okay? And hence I always focus on Python plus AI can do anything, okay? If you have the basics knowledge, you would be able to recommend or make changes more better. You would be able to create something that the normal general masses won't be able to create, correct? Because you have a little bit more knowledge of how the AI is going to think or how I can use the capabilities of AI to build something that others cannot. Okay. Like the difference would be a person who's not having programming knowledge would write a very generic command. Like give me this website. Okay. That can do something. Okay. Maybe a trading website, maybe a website for the football scores as football is trending right now. Okay. But a person having the basic knowledge would give it a proper structured prompt. Okay. Would know what to expect from AI, would know like if the AI gave you a response, how to validate that response. For all those purposes, if you have the knowledge of Python, you would be very easily able to create a fully working website that you can publish, that you can use yourself, ask people to use. Okay. Any doubts so far? Any other questions you have?
No.
No? Okay. So, like, according to you, what do you think, like, is the area where Python is used? Like, the most used area for Python?
I think I'm mainly for the programming language to like make apps which are
Correct. Okay.
AI.
Yeah. That is the most generic use. Like, for example, if you have other languages like Java, C++, you can make apps with them
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Yes.
For example, for particular things, some languages are preferred more. Okay. But
Yes.
Python is everywhere, actually everywhere. Okay,
Oh.
you speak of games, you can build games with Python. You speak of websites, you can build websites with Python. We speak of AI. AI has fundamentals of Python, and you can use Python to leverage AI. Okay, space research, yes. Data science, yes. It has modules specifically for data, for handling the large amounts of data that is there. Okay, for stock market, you can have libraries in Python. For healthcare, you have specific libraries in Python. Okay. CV2, what is CV2? The full form is computer vision. Okay. So for computer vision, for handling the cameras, for handling your input devices, okay, your infrared cameras, your night cameras, your digital cameras, all those camera visions, okay, there is a specific module that will help you through it. Okay. Not limiting to just softwares, for hardware, for drones, okay, for animations, okay, for finance, there are dedicated libraries for Python. Okay. And as I speak, okay, you might think these are the most high level libraries. No, they're very simple. Okay. So to give an example, okay, if you want to build a very random small game, okay, uh, say a game of rock paper scissors, okay, very simple small game that you could build using a random library that Python has. Okay. Now, what is this random library? Okay, I find this is the most interesting creation of or the development that is there in Python. Okay, because I find electronic devices can be anything but random. Okay, you can never like it can have the largest of the possibilities, but it will never be random. Okay, if you're finding some error in the code, there would be some logic behind it. There would be some mistake, okay? It would not behave randomly on its own, okay? But they have configured a library, okay, that will help you appear random, okay? So for example, they have created a lot many possibilities. So using that, you can actually behave randomly, okay, or appear to behave randomly. For example, uh, when you play games, okay, there is a bot and there is a player, correct? How does the bot randomly choose? Okay, you might think it is random, okay, but it is basically a sequence of probabilities that are there, correct? It's like a combination, it's like a pattern, okay, very long pattern. Hence, when it repeats, you would not even guess that, oh, now it started repeating, okay? So, for example, your operations like choosing a number randomly, okay? So in Python there is a command, okay, as simple as that, which is called as random int, okay? Using them, if I give it a range, say I want to choose between 1 comma 100, okay, when I run this I get the result and I get to know that it is going to generate a random integer, okay? Let's leverage this, okay? I will show you an actual output for this one. Okay. If I can share. Okay. I think my shell is visible. Okay. So this is my file. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So first thing, I must import that particular random library that I'm going to use. Okay. Post that, as I mentioned, I just want to print a random number. Okay. So n equals to, okay, let's erase this. Okay. As r for now. Okay. So r, say bracket 1 comma 100. Okay. And since I have got this number, I would print it as well. Okay.
And this means random integer.
Yes. Okay. I think my output is going to. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I ran my code once and I get the output as 65. Okay. I'm gonna run my same code again. Okay. And let's see what number I get. Okay. Is there a repetitions? Okay. I'm gonna get random numbers because my range is 1 to 100. Okay. It's gonna give me random numbers from that. So using this, I can build simpler games. Okay. Say for example, not random int. What if I want to make it choose? Okay. Choose between the choices that I have. Say if I'm building rock, paper, scissors game. Okay. So my choices would be rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So from this, if I see, that's what my game is about, right? I must want the computer to choose between the three. Okay. And then if I see, if I run this again, I would get random inputs. Correct? This is the game about, right? I build a part of the game that is gonna happen, right? So rock, paper, scissors. Okay. What if I ask the user also for an input? Okay. So since I'm building a game, okay, I would say user equals to input choose. Say rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So I'm asking the user to choose between them, correct? Then I made my bot choose one of these, correct? Now, based on the conditions that I have, correct, I can give out inputs, I can give out outputs and make the game running, right? So, like, what is my logic? Okay, if I would say user, okay, equal to bot. The first uh, case of a game is to go draw, right? When you have only three inputs, I would say it will go draw. Okay, elif. Now that I know that the conditions are not in a draw, okay, then I would choose a side. Okay, let's say the user side. Okay, when would the user win? Okay, my user would win. Okay, when my user equal to say if my user is doing rock. Okay, my user is equal to rock. Okay, let's go with lowercase. My user is equal to rock. Okay, and okay, my bot is equal to what? So when the user is choosing rock, okay, when would it win? If my bot is choosing scissors, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I write this condition, okay? This is one of the cases, right? Or there are three cases for it, right? Or my, okay. So rather than typing it all, let's change this by writing multiple cases for this one. Okay. So the other case would be my user did paper, but the bot did rock. Okay. If my user did scissors, okay, but my bot did paper. Okay. In those cases, I would say print red else. Okay, I would just write because I've considered the other two cases. Okay, I can just simply write. Oops. What one? Okay.
But ma'am, what if you're also writing that the wrong print is wrong?
What if, like, if I don't write anything between rock paper scissors?
Yeah, ma'am, like
I
right, we have written draw, right? About.
Yes, I went for draw. If both of them chose the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I've divided it into three cases. Okay. The case one was if both choose the same thing, then it's a draw. The case two was when the user chose all the combination, all three combinations where the user is winning. Okay. So all the three combinations were rock is chosen by user and bot chooses scissors. Hence rock wins, correct? Paper is chosen by user, but the bot chooses rock. Okay. So now paper wins, hence user wins. Okay. Or the third case was when the user is choosing scissors, but the bot chose paper. Okay. So hence my user wins. Okay. Now the remaining cases in all other cases which are vice versa. Okay. Then my bot wins. Correct. So like this, it was a simple game. How I built the logic. Correct. Okay. Since I've put enter just to accommodate, I better put it in a single line. Okay. I don't want to call next line.
So ma'am, if we enter this on a open source AI app like ChatGPT, will it make an app or is
I'm sorry,
it?
I'm not able to hear you clearly.
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. So like all this
Hmm.
coding if you enter on AI app like the ChatGPT, so will it like make an app for us?
Okay, so for example, chat GPT gave me a response, okay? But what if I'm not able to decipher what it has written, or I'm not able to give it proper instructions on what it must do next to leverage it more, okay? What if you made the application through chat GPT, but you're not able to explain it to anyone, okay? You are not able to understand the powers. You are not able to understand the integrities that the chat GPT or the AI powered program gives. Okay, if that was the case, if we can completely rely on AI outputs, then there would be no need of developers. But that's not the scenario. Okay, currently even I'm working in a company where they have an AI unit. Okay, why is that unit set up? Okay, because AI cannot hold the accountability. Okay, what output the AI gave. Okay, you cannot hold it responsible if it did not configure it well, if it did not make things right. It is upon the developer that gave the prompt. Okay, so at the end, accountability, responsibility lies on human that is using the AI. Okay, and if in that case you are not well versed, okay, you are not outsmarting AI at times, then you are the one responsible if it does not perform well. Okay, think of yourself as a manager. Okay, the more positions you get is of managing AI. Okay, to manage something you must have complete knowledge of what it is capable of. Okay, to understand AI better, the best thing to learn is to understand the way it was built. Okay, what are the fundamental blocks that lie in uh the, like what we say, the base of AI. So for example, I have studied the entire structure of how GPT was built or all the models that are there, correct? Realizing that, I know why Python was important at that time. Okay, why Python was the one that is the most adaptable with these languages. Okay, why we chose, like why I'm still choosing Python over just doing something with AI is because I know that when I am stronger with my fundamentals, I can use AI much better. Okay, so always think of AI as an added power up. Okay, but if you don't know the basics, I don't think so AI would take you longer extent. Okay, it can be used for smaller tasks, but if you want to leverage it to make something useful for the public, for it to be industry level, there would always have an accountability role, which you must be confident enough that the solution provided by AI is able, safe, or is complete. Okay, so for that, it's better you know what it is doing, you know what it should actually do, and what you are expecting more of it. Okay,
So I
any
have a
doubt?
doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, for example, recently a company called Snapit. Hello,
Yeah, I'm trying
now are
to
you able to hear me?
gauge your voice. I think it's cracking a
But
little
now
bit.
are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
Hello.
I can.
So basically, for example, like right now, a company called Snapit. So
Yes,
that guy in Hawaii, he used I think the programming language, and he built that app.
yes, 100%.
So from everything, like, is it that simple? Like using any programming language, you can make that.
Yes, 100%. So today, what I prefer in my everyday work also as a professional or in the industry also, rather than using just a chatbot, okay, or say chat GPT, what is expected of us is to know the AI stack, okay. So I can just go on chat GPT, give me a website, it would give me a result. Okay, it's a fair enough result. I'm not telling you that it is not going to give me an value, okay. But because I know what to expect from AI, the best thing that I've learned so far is to use the correct AI stack. Okay. So, what are the AI applications you know so far? Okay. Skipping the most common ones like ChatGPT or Claude, what are the other ones you know that you should use for your everyday work? Have you explored some?
I've heard of
Okay.
emergent AI,
Okay.
and perplexity. These two I've heard apart from Cloud.
Yes, 100%. Okay. So, some AIs are very good with textual work, okay? Like say ChatGPT is very good with textual work. Some are very much good with images, okay? Like you have Midjourney, you have Gemini that is good with images, okay? No doubt. Okay, you have Claude that is good with your overall work, giving you an output. Okay, then there is Cursor.ai that is very good with softwares, okay? You can It can manage your entire workbook. It can manage your entire files. Okay. Then there is some other like v0.tech that is very good with your website, your applications. It even gives you hosting powers. Okay. So not denying that there are very good industry level applications available on the net for free. Okay. Also, you can enroll for the paid versions to get the best output. Okay. But I think I can use them even better when I have the fundamentals of it. Okay. So since speaking of that, and it was a part of the masterclass that I was planning, was the AI stack that we must use. Okay. To get our outputs even better. Okay. So since I mentioned my GPT is the my go-to thing for textual work. Okay. So if you have any requirements, okay, always ask GPT. Okay. So for requirements, I go for GPT that, okay, give me the requirements. Okay. This is my requirement. Build a complete requirement doc from it. Okay. Then I take that doc and I give it to, say, Claude to analyze and give me a technical aspects of it. Okay. Like what should be there in terms of technical aspects. Okay. Now I'll giving an input to my, say, v0 for now. Okay. I prefer v0 or uh, Claude for making it. Okay. For making applications. Okay. Can you imagine the detailed input that I give it is I can give them the theme. Okay. The language that it must use, not language in this terms of like Hindi, English. No, not that kind of language. Language in the sense, the technical language. Like, should they use jargons? Okay. They should not use jargons. They should make it simpler. How many pages should be there? What would be the event listeners, the clicks, everything in detail as much as I can give. What I get as the output is the complete functional application. Okay. Not just a page, not just a website, but a complete functional application that I can use for demo purpose 100%. But if I want integrations, okay, now you tell me AI gave you a website, ask chat GPT to make a payment application. Would it make integrating all the secret keys, all your APIs, do you think it would make complete thing? No, there are some restrictions that are always comes with AI. Okay, it cannot access your keys. It cannot access public, private data. Okay, so for those purposes, then comes the developers. Okay, that help you. Okay, help you actually finish the project. Okay, over here to manage, what I use is called as cursor.ai that helps me manage the project well. But does that mean I let cursor only do the thing? No, I must have my knowledge. I must have the control over it to use uh, my application really well. Okay. So to give you a demo, can you give me an example? Anything that you want to create? Any kind of application that you want to create?
And any kind of service-based app.
Okay. Um, let's create a project management. Okay. Project management application. Because why do I choose this topic? Because a project management is there in every industry. Okay. Can you pick an industry from me? Like what kind of project management do you want to work for?
And any real estate project.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So this is my topic only. I have only this much knowledge. Okay. Where
Yes.
would I do all my research work from? Okay. I can use multiple sources. Okay. Still, being in the industry, a research work is always preferred from what we say, certified sources. Okay. Or cross-check sources. But I can always use AI for my research work. Okay. Currently, since we are building a simpler version for it, okay, I just share my screen for that. Okay. Okay. So I would write a detailed business requirement doc for a project management portal for real estate project. Okay, if you have anything in mind, as much detail as you can provide, it can give you better outputs. Okay, uh so I could just write a simple statement like this because that's what I want. Okay, or I could enhance my prompt saying that uh imagine yourself as a product manager. Okay, because you want AI to be responsible for what it is doing. For a tech company making project management portal. Okay, design a detailed business requirement doc for a project management portal for real estate projects. Okay, I would say my audience or targets are the constructions company. Okay, what if they want to see their different projects that are going on in the area, vicinity, whatever. I would say I'm a construction company. Okay. Uh, detail it to the max extent possible. Okay. So I do not directly give GPT create a website and give it. I go and check what business requirement document does it make. Okay, what are the points that it's gonna cover. Okay, what are the things that it is thinking on. Okay, these are the points it is gonna exclude. Okay, do you want something to be included? Do you want something to be excluded? Okay, so currently, if I go through this, okay, and if I think this is correct, okay, I would just go through it very briefly. Okay, so there is project name, project code, client, location, maps. Okay, I 100% need who are the builders working on it, architects, consultants, start date, end date, correct? Estimate budget. Anything else you want to add to any of these?
I think it has most of it.
Yes. Okay. Okay. As I move ahead, it has made it a very extensive module plan. Okay. Okay. Give a summary BRD doc. I would say in 200 words. Okay. Why am I restricting the word limit? Because if now I'm going to give it to another AI application to make the application. Okay. So I do not want it to have excess of idea and use many tokens that it's going to use to build an application. Okay. So I think 500 would be very brisk. Okay. It would not cover the details. I would say 500 words would be enough. Okay. And 500 words to cover the in. Okay, so this is giving me a particular instruction summary in 500 words. Okay, so first I made it think in detail. Okay, and then give me the summary of the important aspects that are there. Okay, now copying this business requirement doc that is there. Okay, why did I use the jargon to call it a business requirement doc? Because I wanted to think that way and give me a detailed one. Okay, I would go on a particular website. Okay, for this Claude is also good, V0 is also good. Okay, we can use any of them. Okay, as per your tokens or as per the limits that you want to go through. Okay, I would paste. Okay, I would just log in for now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just pasted my BRD that I've given. Okay, I don't want to edit anything. I just want to say, consume this BRD and make a complete functional project management code. Okay, I can give them a logo design, I can give them a theme, okay, so that I can get the results as much as I want. Okay, keep it minimal and okay, keep theme minimal and colors as I would say blue, red, white. Okay, because those are the business colors that I like to add it to my website. Okay,
Yes.
the basic things that I were on top of my head, I just gave. Okay. Now, as you think, the AI have advanced. It will think. Okay. It will explore the structure, make a structure, and go step by step to create all of this. Correct. Being a technical person, I would have suggested the language they should use. Okay. Say, for example, if I'm comfortable in Python, I should have suggested to write in Python so that I can edit it. Okay. But currently, I know that it will use the best languages for my portal. Okay, so 100% the portal would be created which could be used for demo purposes. But do you think it would integrate it completely? No, that integrations needs to be still carried out by me. For that, I must have the knowledge of the languages that they have used, of all the integration aspects that are need to be covered. Okay, so for that, again, I come to square one. I must know programming languages. I must know fundamentals of Python in detail so that I can actually execute what is given to me by AI. Okay. So we'll let this uh, create the application that we want. But side by side, what we must also understand it. Okay. Doing just Python, learning this Python, as you mentioned, you've also learned Python somewhere like some time before, right? But how do you understand that you've learned it, you've got it? Okay. So for that, always do some certification courses for your skills that you've learned. Okay, so the Harvard School also provides an open, like it's a certificate course which is there for Python. Okay, they build different one which is called as the CS50. Okay, it is powered by Harvard. Okay, so if you go, there is a 10-week extensive course. Okay, it has functions, variables. Okay, all the topic. It starts from the simplest basics of topics, covers regex, object orientation programming, and a final project that is there. Okay, so we at Techmentry have designed a complete Python course. Okay, keeping in mind the Harvard certificate that we have. Okay, so on that particular course that we learn, okay, we try to cover all the uh, courses, all the concepts that are there, okay, which would make you very much able to do this certificate and gain this certificate. This certificate has high industry value as well. Okay, so if you have it, it's a proof that you, yes, you've studied Python in detail. Okay, when I say Python, people do study it from a very superficial point of view, but topics like unit test, okay, makes you a lot more stronger. Okay, it helps you analyze, check your own code very much in detail. Okay, it will help you avoid errors at runtime. Okay, unit test. Okay, then there is file input output. Like what if you want to deal with other file types like PDFs, images, CSVs, excels? Correct, all those are different input output files, right? So this module goes through that part as well. Okay, then regex is the most widely used topic in industries today. Okay, you need regex for a lot of things, for validations, for checking, for getting an output from a table, a lot of things. Okay, so regex is one of such topics which people forget to cover while learning Python. Okay, but it will give you an added advantage if learned in a proper conceptual manner. Okay, Moving on, project oriented programming. Okay, this is the power of Python. When I say object and classes, this concept gives it the power to replicate the code, to reuse the code. Okay, to write a code that could be not just like run in a sequential manner, but have the power to reproduce itself. Okay, hide things. Like for example, not everything is open for the public. Okay, you need some access controls. All those things can be handled using classes and variables. The whole entire concept of classes and variables uh, needs to be studied in detail. Okay, when you go through all the topics, when you learn all of them. Oh, I miss exceptions. When I say exception is like having a predefined emergency, like you know your program is going to fail in some or the other aspect. Yes, you cannot control the user input, you cannot control the other files that are present. Okay, so to write exception scenarios for everything that is there before, okay, while coding, okay, that is going to come while you run it. Okay, so this helps you think from a broader perspective. This helps in debugging, handling exceptions, raising exceptions. Okay, in case something is invalid, okay, that might not give you an error, but you want your application to give an error. So as simple as entering an age. Okay, if your application is not meant for the kids, you would have an age criteria, how to handle that, how to build a validation for that. Okay, not just giving, oh, error, try again. No, you want proper validations that will not interrupt the working of your code. Okay, that will not interrupt the rest of the code. That is when you use exceptions. Okay, we've talked about libraries a lot in the class. If you see libraries, there is libraries for fonts, there is libraries for emojis, there is libraries for video editing. Okay, you think of it, and there is a library in Python for that. Okay, so if you want to do this course in detail, we have a dedicated course. Okay, at Techmentry. Okay, you can visit our website, and the way you registered for this through the same social media handles, you can reach out to us and enroll for this course, which will enable you and make you equipped for a industry level certificate for Python. Okay. Yes. Coming back to our application. Okay, it's still creating. Okay. Uh, but yes, any doubts with the CS50 course that we spoke about?
No, no.
Yes, you can visit it yourself as well. Okay.
Yes.
Apart from this, okay, people do not have much idea about the tools and uh, accessories, or I would call it an accessories Python provides. Okay, Python provides you with tools, as I mentioned. Okay, there is this tool which is called as a Python tutor. Okay, which I do suggest. This will help you analyze and visualize your code. Okay, say for example, you're writing a code and you're not able to visualize it correctly, you can use this to visualize your code, to understand how it's actually running and debug it. Okay, this is hosted at the Python server only, so it might give issues while loading up, but yes, it works perfectly fine. Okay, perfect. I think my okay, so over here, if I paste a Python code, okay, let's say this code. See, okay, I just simply paste this Python code here. It will help me visualize it. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me paste a simpler code for now. Okay, so that we can visualize it in the mm, 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 mm. Okay, like similar one. So I will explain what this tool helps you with. Okay, so this is this tool. Okay, here you will see your output. Here you're supposed to give your inputs when I go on the next line. Okay, so the first line is just importing random. Okay, it prints welcome to rock paper scissors Python in the next step. Okay, so see, we see the output over here in the backend, in the memory. Okay, what is being loaded? This random module has been loaded, which has a module instance. Okay, as we move next, okay, there is a choices variable that holds this particular thing, rock paper and scissors. Okay, now we need to enter our choice. Okay, so I'm going to give my input. Okay, and I submit. This will help me visualize it step by step. Okay, so I gave my input. Okay, now user having the value as rock has been created in my memory. Okay, now when I move ahead, what will happen? It will show me what is my computer's choice. Okay, so the computer chose paper, it was random, it will pick one of the instance. Okay, now my computer chose paper. Now this goes for the condition. Okay, it's not a tie, so hence it did not check this part. Okay, it's not a tie. We move ahead, we see which is this condition where the user is choosing rock. Okay, and my computer is choosing paper. Okay, if my user is choosing a rock, if my computer is choosing a paper, computer wins. Okay, hence it is not the part of this condition as well. Okay, it moves on. If this is the part, computer wins. Okay, and hence as we see in the next step, it prints computer wins. This will help me analyze my code step by step. Okay, this is provided by Python itself. Okay, so at times when you want to leverage things like this, okay, there are more such applications, there are more such power-ups that the Python provides, okay, which we can exercise to, help us with our learnings and help us understand Python even better, okay. Let's see and check our output that v0.net has created. Yeah. So it's still thinking, but we got a base around executive dashboard that we have. Okay. We see the number of projects active, the budget utilization. Okay. The approvals that are pending, average completion, the progress, budget. Okay. The dashboards, I agree. AI creates very good dashboards, but you can take inspiration from them to add in more inputs to it. Okay. We have the approval list. Okay, let's see if we can just pop this out and see. Okay, so why do I prefer v0.net? Because we have the option to publish. Okay, when I publish to web, it will actually publish it on a link which I can share it to the user and ask my user to actually use this. Okay, it would not be hosted locally, but it will be hosted on the web itself. Okay. Okay, what other features do we have? We have a view on the project. Okay, we have the buildings, the progress, the budget utilizations. Okay, we have the completed projects. So this is a very good one for a demo, correct? Anything else that you want to see and check? It's still working on all the pages, so hence I feel it's gonna. Okay, so the reports. Okay, so this was something that it thought of itself. Okay, the safety management. Okay, I don't remember seeing this as a module. Okay, obviously we'll require a document management as well. Okay, documents. Obviously, since it's a real estate, there would be a lot of documents. Okay, and the versions because there will be two and three. Yeah. There is an option to upload. But yeah, as I can see, it's still a demo portal. I do not have the access to uploading all the functionalities. Okay, I can again go to and fro, ask it to add the functionalities. I can go to and fro for changing the functionalities. Okay, but at the end, if you want a very specific, very niche thing, you would always have to go over it, run it through the code that is there, okay, understand what is written in there. Is it secure? Is it in a correct structure that is there, okay? All those things comes from the part where you have knowledge of what the AI is doing, not just completely and blankly relying on what it is doing, correct? So if you see, I'm sorry, I just clicked on stop sharing. We see there is a part where we can see the code of it, okay? So this is the code editor. I can just change and get it updated on the screen as well, and plus I can host it as well, okay? So yes, I prefer using an AI stack rather than just relying on one of the chatbots and for creating my project, okay? What if I want to actually create this project on my local host? I can use cursor.ai to manage my entire coding repository as well, okay? So any other doubts do you have, Krish?
So sorry, what, ma'am?
Any other doubts regarding the AI stack that we used, regarding the certificate course that we talked about?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. So, yes, I had planned a 1 hour lecture, which is there. Any other doubts, you can reach out to Techmentry and enroll for the courses that we have.
Okay, 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 ma'am.
Sure. Bye bye.
Ma'am,
Have a good day.
one thing
Yeah,
I wanted to ask, like from if you compare ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Emergent, so like which are the best ones?
okay, as I answered in the session itself, you can never use one thing for the complete applications. Okay, so I use GPT for textual things. Okay, for making your BRD, for doing the research purpose. Even Perplexity is very good for that. But coming to an application, okay, getting your outputs. Okay, if your output is more image based, you must use a separate application which is trained on images more. Okay, so always try to use an AI stack, okay, not just one application as a whole, okay. And since all these are evolving every day, you must be updated with the ratings for each one of them. If you see, there is on the web, you will find ratings for each and every one in a particular task zones. For example, for textual things, usually GPT is the rank one over here. But for application outputs like software developers, some few months back it was Cursor. Claude is also gaming it up, okay? So for all these things, you can just search on the net for the ratings, the current ratings, because they are evolving every day, okay? And so far for me also, I've never gotten the best results from a single AI application or just enabling AI in my application, okay? I always try to mix and match, okay? And mix and match because I know the power, okay? I know this particular application is good with text things. This application is good with images things. So based on my use case, I decide my own stack. I hope that answers the question, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Any other?
Thank you so much. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yo. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for joining. And yes, you can get back to Techmentary for any such doubts.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Perfect. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye, ma'am.